It's 1948. A war-torn world is still recovering from World War II. The ashes haven't cooled. And yet, somewhere in Central Europe, a strange aircraft takes flight, loud, rugged, clumsy. And yet, destined for an unexpected chapter in aviation history. This is not a sleek Spitfire or a powerful Mustang. This is the Avia S-199. A plane built from the remains of Nazi Germany's Luftwaffe. Now repurposed by a struggling post-war Czechoslovakia and later embraced by a newly formed Israel fighting for survival. Welcome to a fascinating story where history, desperation, and ingenuity collide. The Avia S-199 was born from necessity. After World War II, Czechoslovakia was left with a stockpile of German aircraft parts, mainly from the legendary Messerschmitt Bf-19. However, the original Daimler-Benz engines used in the Bf-19 were no longer available. In their place, the Avia engineers fitted Junkers Jumo 211F engines, originally designed for bombers, not fighters. This substitution led to a series of compromises that turned the Avia S-199 into a fighter that was notoriously difficult to handle. The engine was heavier, the torque more aggressive, and the aircraft's center of gravity shifted dangerously forward. Pilots often referred to it as a mule, stubborn, unstable, and dangerous, especially during takeoff and landing. In fact, several Czechoslovak pilots lost their lives in training due to these flight characteristics. Yet, for all its flaws, the Avia S-199 would go on to play a crucial role in one of the most dramatic chapters of the 20th century, the birth of the Israeli Air Force. In 1948, as the State of Israel declared independence, it immediately faced invasion by neighboring Arab nations. Israel had almost no air force, no modern military aircraft, and was under an international arms embargo. Desperate for any form of aerial defense, Israeli agents managed to secure a secret deal with Czechoslovakia to purchase 25 Avia S-199's. These were smuggled into Israel in crates, reassembled, and pressed into combat as the backbone of Israel's first fighter squadron. Despite being outdated and notoriously difficult to fly, the Avia S-199 gave Israel a fighting chance. On May 29, 1948, in one of its earliest combat missions, 4 S-199's intercepted an Egyptian armored column advancing toward Tel Aviv, dropping makeshift bombs and opening fire. The surprise attack caused chaos and forced the Egyptian army to halt. The impact was psychological as much as physical. It proved to both sides that Israel had an air force, no matter how small or underpowered. Israeli pilots, many of whom were World War II veterans from other nations, had to adapt quickly to the S-199's quirks. The cockpit layout was unfamiliar, visibility was poor, and the aircraft's engine often overpowered its airframe. Yet in the face of adversity, they flew with courage, pushing the aircraft far beyond what it was ever designed to do. The S-199's performance in dogfights was limited. It was slower and less agile than most of its opponents, and its heavy-handed engine made evasive maneuvers difficult. Still, it managed to shoot down enemy aircraft and provide vital support during key battles in the War of Independence. Ironically, the very reason it was so flawed, the mix of incompatible parts, also made it available at a time when no one else would sell to Israel. Without the S-199, the history of that conflict might have been very different by the end of 1949. The Avia S-199's were retired from frontline service, replaced by better, more modern aircraft. In total, Israel operated fewer than 25 of them, but their contribution was outsized. These aircraft were not just machines, they were symbols of resilience, desperation, and hope. Today, only a handful of Avia S-199's survive in museums, including one on display at the Israeli Air Force Museum. Standing before it, you don't see just an outdated fighter, you see a relic of improvisation, testament to what people can achieve under pressure. and a reminder that even the most unlikely tools can change the course of history. So next time you see a gleaming jet streak across the sky, remember the mule with wings? The Avia S-199. It may have been slow, flawed, and temperamental, but it flew at a time when flight itself was a miracle of survival. Thanks for watching. If you found this story of aviation, history, and survival interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, keep your eyes on the sky and your heart with the stories that shaped it.